2-1. And then on Wednesday night, they will go head-to-head, mano-a-mano at Wing Stadium. The Generals, all they need is 1 point so they can get into overtime or into a shootout and be okay. However, I'm sure they'd like to post a victory on Wednesday night to get into the postseason. And more than likely, that date first round with the rivals from down the road on I-69, the Port Huron Ice Hawks. We've told you about this being the final meeting of the regular season. Eric Marvin has appeared in 10 games for the Flint Generals against the Muskegon Fury this season. And he has notched 5 victories. Michel Beausoleil has been on fire for the Flint Generals against the Muskegon Fury. He has 23 points in 14 games, while Joseph Wojtek has 10 goals. Nick Tuzolino's been on fire against Muskegon. He is a +9 in the series. And I think if he can continue to dominate and play as well as he does, he will be a big factor in this game this evening. Robin Bouchard, who was not in the lineup tonight, has 11 goals and 7 power play goals for Muskegon. Philip Plante continues to pass the puck well. He has set up a total of 14 goals. Isaac Reichenmuth and Clayton Poole each have 3 wins. We'll see Clayton Poole in net today. The Abbotsford, British Columbia native gets the starting goal for Muskegon today. He played very well in their 2-0 loss last night at home to the Fort Wayne Comets. And it seems like everyone is losing to the Fort Wayne Comets now. As Muskegon lost last night, Fort Wayne, boy, they have simply been tremendous with wins, 21 wins in total on the road. They're on the road again today at McMorran Place Arena in Port Huron. And they're in the second period now. And the score there, and we'll wait for our screen to refresh. It is a 1-1 tie. Fort Wayne and Port Huron. Appears the Generals would love to get a first-round series against the Port Huron Ice Hawks. That would be the case there. The Generals welcome a new face in the lineup today. His name's Trent Davatia. He is a youngster getting a chance to play, one of the amateurs signed by the Flint Generals, and he will get a chance to play. Pressed into service, Ryan Jordy, Jonathan Ducheneau, both will not play. Jonathan Ducheneau bothered by flu-like symptoms, and Ryan Jordy with a bruised tailbone, and he hopes to have that feeling better soon. He re-injured it last night. He injured it actually on Friday night. Here's our national anthem. Great job on the national anthem prior to puck drop here at Perani Arena and Event Center. Time now for the GM Goodwrench starting lineups, brought to you by GM Goodwrench and your local GM dealers. Official referee for today's game is Craig Welker. His linesmen are Jeff Rutherford and Jim Scarpace. Kalamazoo, Michigan native Chad Albin back in goal for the Flint Generals. His 12th game of the season. A 7-2 0-2 mark with a 2.42 goals against average and a save percentage of .927. It'll be Joseph Wojtek, Jason Cerrone, and John DePace on the opening line with Jared Dumba and Brock Wilson on defense. Clayton Poole, the Abbotsford, British Columbia native, starts in goal for the Muskegon Fury. His 46th game of the season. He is 20-21, 1-2 with a 3.19 goals against average and a save percentage of .905. Mark Cadot starts on the opening line along with Rafael Martinowski and Dave Herring And Dave Van Drunen and Rob Quint will play on defense. Flint Generals in their white uniforms, trimmed with 2 tones of blue. While Muskegon Fury in their navy blue colors, trimmed with teal and white. Thanks for being with us on this Sunday afternoon, the second last weekend of the IHL regular season, kind of coinciding with the last Sunday of the National Hockey League season. Muskegon dumping that puck away and clearing it on goal. There's a shot that just went away wide. Generals can't clear, kept in at the line by Dave Van Drunen. Puck goes back in the corner. Jared Dumba, because of the injury to Ryan Jordy, will play on defense in this game. Puck went off at John DePace and all the way out to center. Now Brock Wilson. Here comes Joseph Foytek to center and over the line. Lost control of that pass, and Rob Quint clears it away to center. Here comes Herring and over the line. Herring trying to move in with a chance. Herring with a chance, and the puck rolled off the end of his stick, and a penalty coming up here against the Flint Generals. And right off the bat, Generals kind of get guilty of letting a man break through. David Herring broke through. Jason Cerrone tugged him down, and the Flint Generals will be down a man early on in this hockey game when we have played 37 seconds. Muskegon's power play, 6th overall in the IHL, 56 power play goals they have scored, 383 opportunities. On the road, they are 5th overall. They've scored just 26 power play goals, but without Robin Bouchard today. Dan Rydell can't find Jeff Nelson open, and now Nelson wearing 91 today and not 37. Now Philip Plant in the corner for Dan Rydell. Got that big shot, gives it over to Jeff Nelson. Nelson turns it at the line for Philip Plant. Plant will wait, gets that puck over to Van Drunen. Van Drunen in the corner being watched by Jordan Fox. Chris Millette there sends it off the boards and all the way down the ice. We're just underway in this game here at Perani Arena, and there is no score. Puck is cleared all the way down the ice. Chad Albin can't get to it now. Dan Rydell will keep it in. Trying to move it around. Here's Billy Collins out in front with a chance. Cleared away there by Albin. Another chance over top of the net and wide. Flint Generals trying to clear, but not out. Kept in. Rydell with a rocket rate on the save by goaltender Chad Albin. And Greg Bullock sends it out of harm's way. All the way down the ice. There is some difficulty with the penalty time. And the Flint Generals will just have to wait and see when that penalty time comes to an end. Now Mark Cadot away to center and over the line. Gets it back to the point. Philip Plant with a drive, and Chad Albin turned that one away smartly. Back in the corner now, Billy Collins, who plays great on the road this season, out in front over top, and a chance there for Chad Albin. Mark Cadot with an opportunity, and Chad Albin made the save, and no further play. You talk about Billy Collins, he likes playing away from home, it seems. 16 goals on the road this season, and Philip Plant, who's on the ice on this power play, he has 20 assists on the road. 40 seconds remaining in the Jason Cerrone minor penalty. Greg Bullock out there with Brock Wilson, Jordan Fox, and Martin Andre. Back to the live action. Generals win it, clear it off the boards, and now Jordan Fox for the Flint Generals ahead to center. Here comes Greg Bullock. Remember, Greg Bullock, when he hurt his hand several months ago back in January, was one when he got slashed by a Muskegon player. That occurred early in the hockey game. Muskegon Fury dumping that one away to center. Here they come. Rafael Martinowski in over the line. Puts on the brakes at the line for Mark Cadot. Cadot had that one stolen, and Greg Bullock takes over his long pass. Now going after it is Peter Ferraro, but coming out to get it is Clayton Poole. Poole dumps it out with just 8 seconds remaining in the Generals penalty. Mark Cadot, far side pass to Dave Herring. Herring's far side pass broken up, and the Flint Generals cleared away. Jason Cerrone on the ice, and Yaroslav Chesky gives it to Nick Tuzzolino. In over the line, nice work by Tuzzolino at the line. Kyle Dick with a drive over top of the net and wide. Yaroslav Chesky keeps it in at the line now. Gives it to Nick Tuzzolino, overshot out in front. Cleared away wide, and now Rafael Martinowski gives it away. Jordan Fox with a chance. Can't get a shot away. Jordan Fox one time over the shot off the goalpost. Oh, Jaroslav Chesky point blank range. And he rang the doorbell, but the salesman wasn't allowed to come inside. Penalty coming up here against the Muskegon Fury. And the Generals will go on the power play. That was created by sheer hard work by the Flint Generals. That penalty that Muskegon will serve now. But the Generals Boy, Jordan Fox with a great setup, throws it right in the slot. And Yaroslav Chesky, who is like a little BB gun. When he lets it go, he gets it on net. It is such a great shot. And he wired that right off the goalpost. Generals' power play is number 1 on home ice in the IHL by a country mile. They scored 50 power play goals, but did not get one last night. And that was a big difference in this hockey game. Brock Wilson, number 7. 3 is Martin Andre. 24, Greg Bullock. 2, Justin DePrentice for the Flint Generals, along with John DePace. Generals try to strike first. This is Greg Bullock. Dumping it inside Muskegon and wide of Clayton Poole. Now trying to work it away of the Fury, and now Jay Hartwick. That was off a man, and it's cleared off of Dave Van Drunen down the ice. The Slovakian Martin Andre twisting and turning with Billy Collins in his kitchen. Now Brock Wilson out of St. Louis, Missouri. Greg Bullock to Justin DePrentice, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native. Shoots that one off his stick up into the mesh and out of play. The First Presbyterian Church of Flint are in attendance today, one of the many groups involved at Flint Generals games. Still good time if you'd like to come out and be a member of a Flint Generals game as a group. Contact the Generals corporate office at 742-9422. And we're glad to have you come out. We've played 3 minutes and 48 seconds of this, the opening period, and there is no score. Generals win the face-off, keep it in. Now this is Joseph Foytek shooting that one just wide of Clayton Poole. Now, Nick Tezzolino. Here's Jason Cerrone. Outside now to Jordan Fox. Fox in the corner at the line for Joseph Foytek. Foytek for Jordan Fox. Fox back to Foytek. Foytek can't keep it in, and Jeff Nelson takes over. He takes his time and has it near center. Now he backtracks and sends it back inside. Flint Generals in. Joseph Foytek, he doesn't backtrack, he just goes. Flips it inside the zone. Flint Generals now. This is Clayton Poole for the Muskegon Fury. Can't get it out. Generals will keep it in. Michel Beausoleil back in the corner. Philip Plott can't get it. Jason Cerrone over now to Joseph Foytek. Foytek now for Jason Cerrone. Cerrone hanging out of it, shooting that one deflected. One-timer shot for Nick Tezzolino right on. And Clayton Poole stopped that and no further play. Now some pushing and shoving behind the Muskegon net. In the middle of that one was Billy Collins and Nick Tezzolino and Dave Van Drunen, as they didn't like Nick Tezzolino getting a second whack at Clayton Poole. Poole, they said, was the difference last night in talking to Matt Tipjakes, the radio voice of the Muskegon Fury, the new man who took over from Terry Ficcarelli earlier this year, said that Clayton Poole was ungodly the best guy on ice last night for Muskegon in that 2-0 setback. They only had like 22 shots on goal, I think, in that game on home ice. Puck cleared but not out. Brock Wilson, nice job keeping it in with a foot. Now, this is Greg Bullock over to Brock Wilson. Wilson can get it through, he does, and that goes up high and wide. Now Bullock again to Brock Wilson. He's got a laser beam as well. Generals set it up. Brock Wilson gets it back at the line. Shooting that one on goal, deflected in front. And it's cleared away and backhanded by Muskegon out of harm's way down the ice. Getting set to return onto the ice is number 7, Sheldon Wing for the Muskegon Fury. We play just past the 5-minute mark of the opening period, and there is no score. Now the Generals in over the line. Jordan Fox moving in. Fox, sharp angled shot just wide. Takes a kind bounce for the Generals right to Mike Alexiou. Alexiou. Now Yaroslav Chesky looking out in front. Puck cleared away, and it comes all the way out to center ice. Nick Tezzolino for the Flint Generals up there with Kyle Deck, a young defensive unit today. Chris Millette, probably one of the elder statesmen. Yaroslav Chesky with a drive, and Clayton Poole stopped that with his blocker. Alexiou trying to pick it up. Jordan Fox along the near side. Puck inside. Flint Generals in. Good job by Jordan Fox keeping it in. Tezzolino one-timer right on, and Clayton Poole turned that one away too with a nice job. And now Muskegon the other way. David Van Drunen, who hit Michel Beausoleil from behind in a nasty hit on Wednesday night. Tezzolino can't get it out. Dan Rydell with a drive blocking away. Collins with a shot cleared away by Kyle Deck. Collins' shot went off a stick and up high, and that'll go into the crowd and out of play. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout. There is no score. Great to have you with us. Live from Perani Arena and Event Center, you're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNZ.
IMA Brookwood Golf Club and Banquet Center in Burton, the official caterer of the Flint Generals. Let IMA Brookwood cater your next home or office party with free delivery anywhere in Genesee County. Book now and save $500 with free hall rental Sunday through Thursday during the holidays and anytime, January through March. IMA Brookwood specializes in feeding hungry appetites, even the Flint Generals. For details, call Lisa at 810-742-2169 or visit www.brookwoodbanquets.com.
Flint Generals with a new player on the ice. Trent Dabatia has taken in his first shift in the hockey game. Generals with the turnover now. Penalty coming up here against Chris Millette as he has Dave Segal held up. And Chris Millette will go off as the Generals had a difficult time getting the puck out of their own end. Trent Dabatia out of Houghton, Michigan, which is the northern peninsula area. Signed as an amateur today, and the Generals happy to give him a shot here. The amateurs, you just want to get their feet wet just in case. The Generals been very impressed with Kyle Dex so far, who came in from the Regina Cougars of Canadian University Hockey and also via the Regina Pats of the Western Hockey League. Now this Trent Dabatia is going to get a look-see. Nick Tuzzolino for the Flint Generals has a look-see and sends it the length of the ice. Clayton Poole living it there now for Dave Van Drunen. Power plays one to each side so far, and there is no score. 13-17 remaining in the opening stanza. Philip Plott. Boy, this Muskegon power play is so different now without Mr. Robin Bouchard in the lineup. Billy Collins now with control. Over now to Dan Rydell into Jeff Nelson. At the line, there's a shot right on and a good SWAT save by Chad Albin. Philip Plott now to Rydell. Back to the line to Van Drunen. Jeff Nelson with control, shooting that one on goal. Chad Albin cleared that one away. Penalty coming up here against Nick Tuzzolino, who's going to go off, I believe, for an elbow. It's going to be a high stick as Billy Collins was knocked down, and the Generals will be down 2 men. Talking with the coaching staff prior to today's game, and we spoke a little bit about last night's game, which was really, I don't think anyone wanted to really bring up the subject. And really they said the things became undone when the 5-on-3 was poorly played by the team, and Bloomington jumped out to that, came back in this hockey game and actually tied the game up 2-2. 5-on-3s, if they're not played right, they can be a disaster, and that's what the coaching staff said last night. 5-on-3 now. Plott with a drive. Chad Albin stopped that. Chad Albin in goal and has looked very sharp early on. Billy Collins out in front, cleared away by Albin. Flint Generals trying to poke it away. Puck goes into the mesh and out of play. When we spoke earlier about the Dr. Pashket injury and scratch report, Ryan Jordy, who's been a fixture penalty killing for the Generals, bruised his tailbone a couple of nights ago and has not been feeling all that well. And he is back in the lineup today for the Flint. He is out of the lineup today for the Flint Generals, along with Jonathan Ducheneau. At the line, Generals will try to get it out. 50 seconds in the 5-on-3. Jeff Nelson. Nelson back in the corner. Mark cut out. Right wing shooting that one. That one way wide. Now it's a line. Jeff Nelson. Nelson with a shot off a stick way up into the rafters. And that should be good for a field goal if they're playing arena football. And we'll get a face-off back inside the line. Generals playing small hockey, and boy, Muskegon, Robin Bouchard's like a quarterback, if we're going to use the football chronology. Robin Bouchard goes, so goes the Muskegon Fury. If they're going to have a shelf life in making the playoffs and going further in the playoffs, it's the Robin Bouchard show or bust, and he must control this team. Collins had the puck stolen, now cleared back at the line for Jeff Nelson. Nelson now over to Philip Plott. Billy Collins looking for a man in front. Rydell had that one off a stick and is cleared all the way out to center. Puck was knocked down by a high stick. Will run the face-off back outside the line. Well, the Generals are scoreboard watching today, and I'm sure the fans are. Coming up in about an hour, Kalamazoo Wings are in Bloomington at U.S. Cellular Coliseum to take on the Prairie Thunder. Meantime, in the second stanza in Port Huron, the Ice Hawks and Fort Wayne tied 1-1. Don't know about you, but I don't know which pill is worse to swallow, a Fort Wayne first-round opponent or a Port Huron first-round opponent. Boy, the Ice Hawks are playing some very good hockey right about now in the International Hockey League. Now, here come the Muskegon Fury. In over the line, dumping it in. Dan Rydell trying to roll it in front, cleared away. The Generals can't find it, and it's cleared back. Now trying to find it is Greg Bullock and the Flint Generals. This is backhanded away by Jordan Fox all the way down the ice. Getting set to return is Chris Millette. The Generals down 1 man for just 44 seconds. Good early penalty killing in this hockey game. Puck dumped away, and good job by Brock Wilson. And now Peter Ferraro to Brock Wilson. Flint Generals Backhanding that one away as Chris Millette gives it now, and here's a break for Brock Wilson. In over the line, Wilson outside. Jordan Fox with a chance in front, the rebound. And the Generals couldn't get a stick on it. There was Brock Wilson, but the Wilson-Fox combination do great. Wilson shot deflected, just wide. Well, the Cousins did a good job at pitching forth and nearly pitched the puck in the net. 11 seconds and the Nick Tezzolino minor penalty. 54 seconds shy of the midway mark of the opening period. No score, shot 6-3 in favor of the Muskegon Fury. Puck's in. Chad Albert, who can play the puck in direct traffic with the best of them, and now the Generals at full and even strength. Here's a chance for Michel Beausoleil. In over the line, shooting that one. That was blocked by Dave Van Drunen, and it comes all the way outside the line. Now Muskegon had that one knocked down by the Flint Generals, and this is Greg Bullock throwing that one to the front of the goal, and it's grabbed by goaltender Clayton Poole, and no further play. Let's take a look at the Jiffy Print team comparisons brought to you by Jiffy Print. Let us coach you your next printing job. Jiffy Print located on Davison Road near Center. Call 744-2950. Flint Generals have scored 7 shorthanded goals for this season in the IHL, while the Muskegon Fury have surrendered 13, which is second most in the IHL this season, so that's a number we'll keep an eye on. Muskegon, though, has scored 9 shorthanded goals for, and the Flint Generals have surrendered a league-high 16. And on the Jiffy Print team comparisons, shorthanded goals, something the Generals have not given up lately. Martin Andre in behind the goal now for Chris Millette. Flint Generals with an early penalty kill, very successful, no score. Now up the ice, Jason Cerrone had that one overridden, and it's cleared down the ice. Martin Andre in after it, Dave Segal as he knocked him down. No penalty call as Segal getting up very slowly. The Flint Generals work it all the way out to center. Jason Cerrone in over the line. Cerrone in with a shot, and Clayton Poole turned that one away. Joseph Wojtek in the corner. Jason Cerrone. Wojtek's one-timer lost his stick and lost the stick of Dave Segal, whose stick just snapped in two like firewood. Jason Cerrone out in front. Dumba couldn't get a shot away. Brock Wilson with a shot blocked away by Poole. John the Pace trying to get it now. Van Drunen. Dave Segal lost his hockey. Brock Wilson keeps it in. Good far side pass. Here's a shot and a glove save by Clayton Poole, and no further play. Let's break away for a 1-minute timeout. There is no score early on. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNZ.
Buying insurance from a 1-800 number may sound like a good idea, but your home is one of the largest purchases you'll make. As your local auto owner's agent, we stand by you when you really need us, when you need to make a claim. So don't make the 1-800 mistake when it comes to your peace of mind. Give us a call. Your local auto owner's agent, the no problem people.
The Brad Hoffman Insurance Agency, located in downtown Benton. Call them toll-free 1-877-629-4991.
Being that it's our first date, I brought you to my favorite place, Famous Dave's. I love all their barbecue sauces. How many have you tried so far?
3. Texas Kit, Georgia mustard, and rich and sassy.
Nice. Well, here's another.
Oh.
Now, this sauce reminds me of you.
Devil's Spit.
What?
I remind you of Devil's Spit?
No. I thought I picked up the sweet and zesty bottle.
Don't call me.
Please, no, yours sweet and zesty. Famous Dave's 5 original sauces have a taste just about everyone will love. Famous Dave's, real honest barbecue.
9 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the opening period. Dennis J. Puska from the Gondola broadcast area here at Perani Arena and Event Center in Flint, Michigan. The second last weekend of the IHL regular season winding down. There is no score in the final meeting of the regular season between these longtime rivals, the Muskegon Fury and the Flint Generals. This is Flint Generals now. Mike Alexiou behind his own goal will try to start things up. Alexiou with that good headman rush, sending it ahead to Jordan Fox now. Fox ahead now to Yaroslav Chesky, puts on the brakes. Chesky at the line to Brock Wilson, trying to feed it through, but it's cleared away, and Muskegon dumps it away to center. This is Mark Cadotte, puts on the brakes, hangs on to it. At the line, shooting that one, cleared away last minute by Brock Wilson. Nice job defensively there. Puck backed in. That was Cassidy Preston, not Mark Cadotte. And now Jordan Fox for the Flint Generals to Chesky. Chesky moving in with a chance and a great save by Clayton Poole, and no further play. Generals are getting a chance to go wide on Muskegon and getting that good headman burst of speed. Yaroslav Chesky went wide, and then he cut in, made a great move on Clayton Poole, made a good stop, and held on for the faceoff. 8:31 to go in the opening period. Playoff tickets on sale for the Flint Generals for the Turner Cup postseason. Get your tickets from the Flint Generals Ticketmaster office located inside Perani Arena and Event Center. For further info, contact the Generals corporate office at 742-9422. You can also email us at info@flintgenerals.com. Jay Hartwick off the boards. Sally, Jesse, Raphael, Martinowski gets it all the way down the ice. Kyle Deck for the Flint Generals. This is Michel Beausoleil out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Going to be getting married. And this summer, sends it ahead now to Justin DePrettis and over the line. DePrettis with a shot, change directions off the stick, and grabbed by Clayton Poole. And no further play. Two members of the Flint Generals to tie the knot this summer. Michel Beausoleil and another man, Jared Dumba. Both have their weddings this summer. I believe both of them actually will take place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kind of interesting. It'll be the hockey wedding capital of the summer, I do believe. But two of them face off to the right of Clayton Poole. Great city, Tulsa. They're opening up a brand new hockey arena down there. The Bank of Oklahoma Arena is supposed to be unbelievable facility when it's up and running. Now the Flint Generals out in front, the one-timer, and Clayton Poole with an enormous save there, stretching his body Gumby-like to get across the net. At the line, here's a chance from Foytek right on. Poole stopped that one too. Clayton Poole has been all over the ice and doing everything he can to keep his team in this hockey game. The puck cleared all the way down the ice. Chris Billette back to touch. And icing is called with 7.5 minutes to go. The Generals getting their chances, but Clayton Poole standing tall. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNZ.
America, home of the free and the brave. Free to express yourself on the road. Brave enough to do it. Now, come experience the thrill yourself as the Glow Museum documents this historical phenomenon with its extraordinary new exhibit, Rides and Rebels, sponsored by Rockies. Explore over 60 motorcycles spanning almost 7 decades. Unique collections of leather, memorabilia from some of Michigan's best-known racers like Jay Springsteen and Scotty Parker. And there's even a motorcycle arcade game. Flint Generals fans, show your ticket stub and receive a buy one, get one admission to Rides and Rebels and discover the rebel within. For more information, call 810-237-3450 or jump online to SloanLongway.org.
Puck out along the side boards just below the broadcast area. We'll get a face-off outside. Flint Generals line, 7:04 remaining in the opening period. Shots are 10-8 in favor of the Flint Generals, but there is no score in this hockey game. The Generals back in action Wednesday night in Kalamazoo against the Wings at Wings Stadium. Pre-game show coverage right across the Flint Generals Hockey Network is 6:40 p.m. Play-by-play story at 7 o'clock. That could be a huge night for the Generals. Puck centered in front. Collins with a drive. That hit a man. And Jordan Fox wheels it away for the Flint Generals. Fox outside now to Yaroslav Chesky's been skating well. Puck sent in. Now Chesky looking for it. Brock Wilson, will he keep it in at the line? Collins can't, and it comes all the way out to center. Alexiou. Puck goes sent all the way down the ice, and back to get it now. Dave Van Drunen. 6 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the opening period. Muskegon, long pass for Jeff Nelson, too far, and Kyle Deck dumps that one away, and it's cleared all the way down the ice. Icing waved up. Sunday afternoon, the team's playing their third game in 3 nights and their fourth game in 5 nights. And on this long season, you got to think both teams got to be tired as well. Puck sent in. Chad Albin off the boards. 76 game schedule this year, the longest in minor pro hockey this year. Justin DePrettis in over the line. DePrettis kind of fell down and caught a rut, and play allowed to continue. Now, Michel Beausoleil trying to keep it in. Cassidy Preston dumps it back to Billy Collins. Collins sends it ahead now to Mark Connaughton over the line. Now a chance for Preston. Kept in now by Philip Plant. Back in the corner. And now the Flint Generals, Kyle Deck. That is Billy Collins trying to sashay the puck around. Sends it to the line. Here is Philip Plant shooting it. And Chad Albin got a piece of that one with his glove there. Now Rafael Martinowski hanging on to it at the line. Gives it to Russ Moyer. Back outside of Connaughton. Top of the point now. Philip Plant with a shot. That was blocked and goes into the corner. Tonzolino. And that is Collins losing it. Now the Flint Generals will work it away and dump it away to center. Muskegon now. Russ Moyer. His pass ahead to Martinowski trying to get around this man. He's hit there by Nick Tonzolino. And it comes out to center. Philip Plant. Mark Cadotte will dump it inside. Flint Generals in. Chad Albin missed that one. Now in behind the goal is Nick Tuzzolino. Played in the Ontario Hockey League most of last season. Played a few games as a rookie with the Fort Wayne Comets. Martin Andre. John DePace with a drive and a good save there by Clayton Pools. He saw that one all the way. John DePace trying to find it. Dan Rydell. Paris State University youngster dumps that one away down the ice. Here's a chance for Dave Segal. Moving in. Can't get a shot away. Segal out in front and Chris Bollett cut him off at the pass there. The former Southern Professional Hockey League star skated very well there. Jason Cerrone sends it in. Checked it along the boards as Sheldon Wing was whacked in along the boards by John DePace. Cleared off the boards by Jay Hartwick. Justin Rohr had that one stolen by Jared Dumba. Waiting for his teammates to get onside. John DePace. DePace avoids a check now. Dumps it in the corner. Joseph Wojtek. Now John DePace at the line. Jared Dumba shooting that one wide. John DePace looking to come out in front. Now Jordan Fox is there circling the wagons. Fox coming out of front. One-timer! And Joseph Wojtek just tipped it wide. Joseph Wojtek alone by himself at the side of the net. Just put it wide. Jordan Fox for the Generals. In over the line, outside, a cute pass, but Joseph Wojtek does retake. Wojtek with difficulty, but Jared Dumba at the line. Jared Dumba with a chance. That hit a man in front. Another shot at the side of the goal, and Clayton Poole clears it away. Brock Wilson for the Flint Generals had it roll off the end of his stick and away to center. Muskegon Fury known for taking long shifts, get fresh bodies out there. Alexiou shot that one off his stick and cleared away. Generals trying to find it. It's under Yaroslav Chesky, and Cassidy Preston takes over. Man with two first names. Flint Generals can't keep it in, and now here comes the Muskegon Fury. Billy Collins in over the line, checked there by Kyle Deck. Flint Generals, Greg Bullock is there. Nick Tuzzolino. And Yaroslav Chesky dumps it away to center. Rob Quick on the near side for Dave Van Drunen. Pass ahead to center, and now that is Cassidy Preston at the line for Jeffrey Nelson. Now to Collins at the line. Rob Quick with a shot right on to save the rebound, and that deflected wide. Dave Van Drunen now for Muskegon. Trying to keep his feet moving. Van Drunen throws it in behind the goal. Preston missed that one. Puck held in along the boards as Preston was planted by Tuzzolino. The Generals take over, and this is Kyle Deck ahead to Greg Bullock. Bullock dumping that one down the ice. Michel Beausoleil in tow. Beausoleil turning around, hanging on to it at the line. He's bodied there by Van Drunen. There's a shot on goal by Martin Andre, and it's grabbed by Clayton Poole. Will get a stoppage in play. Don't forget, tomorrow night, folks, the Flint Generals radio show will originate live from right here at Perani Arena and Event Center in support of the 5th annual MDEA Spaghetti on Ice. General players will be serving spaghetti to the fans at about 7 o'clock tomorrow night. It is a wonderful event. You won't want to miss it. Flint Generals radio show and Spaghetti on Ice tomorrow, beginning at 6 o'clock. We hope to hear from Amy Lutz from the MDA will be on our broadcast. We hope as well. We'll have the coaching staff. We'll try to get a hold of Chad Albin and a lot of the Generals players during our broadcast tomorrow night. We're looking forward to that. That'll be one of our second last shows prior to the playoffs. And we won't continue with playoff editions of our radio show when the playoffs do begin. You don't want to kind of hyperventilate or say, well, are they going to make it? The Generals are in good position to make it. And with a magic number now at 5, that's a good sign. Well, they've got to fix the ice behind goaltender Clayton Poole. They're bringing out some snow. While they do that, let's pay some bills. There is no score. 2:22 to go in the second period. Back after a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNZ.
So the other day I got to thinking about my Buick. Why I liked it, why I bought it. And I gotta admit, it's all about looks. And when it comes to keeping it that way, I take it to my Buick dealer, cruise into the good rent service lane, and ask for a multi-point inspection.
I can't stop thinking about it.
The thing is, if it needs a little work, I'm cool with that. Sometimes it takes a little work to stay good looking. Good wrench, only at your Buick dealer.
Welcome back inside Perani Arena and Event Center. They're fixing the ice behind Clayton Poole as there seems to be a rut or something there. So they grabbed a little bit of extra snow. Greater Flint MRI out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Greater Flint MRI, Mid-Michigan's largest open-bore MRI. Call them today for your needs at 230-2411. Fort Wayne Comets in Port Huron this afternoon. They lead after 40 minutes by the score of 2-1. Terry Marcia and Konstantin Shafranov for Fort Wayne. Mark DeSantis on the power play. In that one, it's Nick Boucher against Larry Sterling in that one this afternoon. About to get underway at about exactly 5 o'clock is Kalamazoo and the Bloomington Prairie Thunder. They'll play at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. John DePace for the Flint Generals. Jason Cerrone shot one off a leg and wide. Philip Plant. Now Jason Cerrone with a drive right on, and Clayton Poole, very square to the shooter there, made a great save, and no further play. So you talk about the games and the importance of them right now, and these games today, and then no games in the IHL until Wednesday. The Flint at Kalamazoo is one of the games. The other game is Muskegon and Fort Wayne. So there are two very key games on Wednesday night involving three of the teams battling for their playoff lives. Jason Cerrone will take the face-off here. And I'm not sure. I think it might be Cassidy Preston on the draw. And no, it's Mark Cadot, and play allowed to continue. Puck kept in. Joseph Wojtek for the Flint Generals dumps it into the corner. Jason Cerrone around on the boards, lost it. Mark Cadot takes over. Cadot had that pass intercepted, and Joseph Wojtek clears it back to Kelowna's Chris Bollett. Wojtek out of the Czech Republic with 1:54 in the period. Nice pass too far from Martin Andre. It's sent in. Philip Plant bodied there by Martin Andre, and a good body belt. Joseph Wojtek looking for the spoils. He does. Gets it at the line. This is Chris Bollett. Back in the corner, throwing it in behind the goal. John DePace stealing it now. DePace hanging on to it. John DePace far side pass. Chris Bollett can't come up with it. And David Herring throws that one, oh baby, right into the crowd and out of play with 91 seconds remaining in the period. So you talk about the schedule and what teams are going to need. And in the postseason, remember, it's 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. So if the playoffs were to start today, the Generals would have a date with the Port Huron Ice Hawks, while Muskegon would have Fort Wayne as a potential first-round opponent. That's the 7 series, and you got to think, especially teams will be critical. Puck centered in front, denied there by Philip Plant. Brock Wilson will keep it in. That shot was on the delayed offside call as he shot that one in. Referee have his arm up, but play allowed to continue. Now comes away to center. Billy Collins. Jared Dumba takes over, gives it to Justin Apprentice. 1:12 in the period. Justin Apprentice now. Here's Jared Dumba's shot. That was blocked. Jared Dumba will try to keep it in. Michel Beausoleil can't really, as Bill Collins was tipped with a high stick. Last minute of the opening period, there is no score. Flint Generals and the Muskegon Fury locked up in a defensive battle. Jared Dumba tipping that one away to center. Dave Van Drunen hit there by Greg Bullock, and Justin Apprentice now for Jared Dumba. Now, Brock Wilson, bodied there by Cassidy Preston. Generals trying to find it. Wilson tips it ahead, and now the Generals will work it up ice. Fox had lost the package. Now Cassidy Preston trying to roll it in front. Billy Collins back at the line. Here's a shot deflected away by Chad Albin. Good shot at the line from Plant, who got a chance there for Preston. Couldn't put it in. Here's a rolling puck in front. Collins denied there. Plant's at the line. Van Drunen shooting that one. That hit a man in front. Generals come away with it with 11 seconds to go in the period, and they'll get it down the ice. 7 seconds remaining in the opening period. Muskegon having some flurry of chances late, and Van Drunen will just kind of get through the end of the period. 20 minutes in the books here at Perani Arena and Event Center. Flint Generals and the Muskegon Fury locked up in a great defensive battle early on. 25 shots on goal between them, 13 by the Gens and 12 by the Muskegon Fury. When we return, Generals live at the intermission, presented by GM Goodrich and your local GM dealers. We'll get to that when we return. Live from Perani Arena and Event Center, you're listening to a special Sunday afternoon edition of the Generals Hockey Network on unforgettable 1470 WFNT.
Are part of the exciting International Hockey League with games against the Port Huron Ice Hawks, Bloomington Prairie Thunder, Kalamazoo Wings, Muskegon Fury, and the Fort Wayne Comets. We have group tickets available for small groups of 15 people or more, and we also have large group prizes for 50 people or more. There are prizes as well, and your organization is also recognized. To inquire about pricing for adults, seniors, students, and children, don't hesitate to call our office at 742-9422, and a sales associate will be more than happy to set you up. Flint Generals Hockey, more fun with a group. Flint Generals Hockey, rebuilding the tradition.
So the other day, I'm sitting at a light in my Pontiac, and I'm thinking about how much I hate generic stuff. faucet's not original. And the reason I'm thinking this is my brakes started grinding, which got me thinking about my last brake job. It was like 10,000 miles ago. So I'm thinking for the right brakes for my Pontiac, the kind of brakes that were on it when I bought it, I'm going to my Pontiac dealer and heading down the Good Wrench service lane.
I can't stop thinking about it.
And that's just what I did. I had my Good Wrench guy look at it. He's an expert on my Pontiac. He checked my front brakes, then he replaced them. And because I asked for GM parts, now I have just the kind of brakes my Pontiac needs. Good Wrench. The perfect wrench for your Pontiac. Only at your Pontiac dealer.
I can't stop thinking about it.
IMA Brookwood Golf Club and Banquet Center in Burton, the official caterer of the Flint Generals. Let IMA Brookwood cater your next home or office party with free delivery anywhere in Genesee County. Book now and save $500 with free hall rental Sunday through Thursday during the holidays and anytime, January through March. IMA Brookwood specializes in feeding hungry appetites, even the Flint Generals. For details, call Lisa at 810-742-2169 or visit www.brookwoodbanquets.com.
America, home of the free and the brave. Free to express yourself on the road. Brave enough to do it. Now, come experience the thrill yourself as the Sloan Museum documents this historical phenomenon with its extraordinary new exhibit, Rides and Rebels, sponsored by Rockies. Explore over 60 motorcycles spanning almost 7 decades. Unique collections of leather, memorabilia from some of Michigan's best-known racers like Jay Springsteen and Scotty Parker. And there's even a motorcycle arcade game. Flint Generals fans, show your ticket stub and receive a buy one, get one admission to Rides and Rebels and discover the rebel within. For more information, call 810-237-3450 or jump online to SloanLongway.org.
You're listening to WFNT Flint, unforgettable AM 1470.
Welcome back inside Perani Arena and Event Center. Generals with the puck in deep. Joseph Wojtek's shot went off the end of his stick, and Muskegon takes over the other way. Flint Generals now, and play is called on the offside. A minute, 1 second into the second period. Boy, the Generals come close there with some good cycling inside the Muskegon end. Taking a look at the shot leaders from the opening period. Philip Plant leading Muskegon shooters with 4. Billy Collins with 3. Yaroslav Chesky, Martin Andre, Jason Cerrone, and Nick Tuzolino all with 2 for the Flint Generals in the opening period. Back to the live action. Philip Plant from Muskegon's pass sends it ahead to Billy Collins. In over the line, Collins bodied there, knocked down by Brock Wilson, and the Flint Generals retake. This is Yaroslav Chesky. His pass stolen. Now this is Jeff Nelson. Preston Cassidy with a shot not deflected wide. Now the Generals will work it away. That pass is too far, and will go all the way down the ice. Back to get it is Philip Plant, and icing is called against the Flint Generals. Well, the Firkin and Fox stat of the night brought to you by your friends at Firkin and Fox, located on Lapeer and Center Road, official media food providers of your Flint Generals, and a great way to begin and end your Flint Generals home games. The stat of the night, the Flint Generals in the last 4 games have fired 178 shots on goal, and in some cases out shooting the opponent by a 2-1 margin. More of that in a moment. And the Generals firing 51 and 54 shots on goal among those opportunities now. Here's a chance moving in. Brock Wilson. Wilson out in front. There's the puck lying there. Generals can't bang it in, or is it in the net? Mike Alexiou and Brock Wilson on the goal line, and goaltender Clayton Pole's got him. He hangs on. Brock Wilson tried to do the puck towards the net. Clayton Poole was on a no-man's land, way out of possession, and Mike Alexiou just couldn't push it across the goal line, and Clayton Poole had to be very clever there. But the Generals in their last 4 games, 51, 31, 42, and 54 shots. That is a lot of shots by the Flint Generals in the last 4 games. Hasn't really amounted to a lot in terms of 4 straight victories, but it shows they're cycling and shooting the puck. That is your Firkin and Fox stat of the night. Puck comes all the way out. There's a big hit as David Segal was hit. Now, Chad Albin will try to work it away, and the Flint Generals trying to get it out. Here's a shot on goal, and Chad Albin turned that one away. Chad Albin very calm and cool when he's handling the puck. Now Muskegon. David Segal throws it back in, and now Martin Andre back in his own end to get it. Justin Rohr was flattened there, and the Flint Generals work it away. Here comes Michel Beausoleil. Puts some open ice to center. In over the line. Shooting it. Scores! They can hit him skate out or stick as it went in. Flint Generals lead 1-0. The Generals will try to make that into the 20th win when they score the game's first goal. Michel Beausoleil wasted little time. Kind of moved smartly in over the line. Kind of a slow developing, methodical kind of a play. And Beausoleil does it again. Beausoleil, his 34th of the year. And the Generals have scored first and they lead 1-0. And that is what the doctor ordered for the Flint Generals. Getting that first goal and playing with a little bit more confidence after, as Peter South put it, the implode button last night came early. It was one of those games where disaster relief was a huge issue last night. Flint Generals now with a 1-0 lead on the goal by Michel Beausoleil. Jared Dumba for the Flint Generals. Rafael Martinowski. Now Jared Dumba, watching him. Jared Dumba back on defense, where he's done an excellent job for the Generals in spot duty this season there with all the injuries. Now John DePace for the Flint Generals tips that one out to center. Rob Quitz, spelled K-W-I-E-T. Gets it to Martinowski with a drive, and that goes over top and wide. Jared Dumba for the Flint Generals took a whack at it, Rowena Bobbitt style, and the puck's cleared away to center. John DePace for the Flint Generals dumping that one all the way down the ice. Dave Van Drunen off the boards. Dave Herring pass ahead to Martinowski. Mark Cadot, former Port Huron Ice Hawk, even though it was just for a signed contract and over the line. And it's stolen there by Joseph Wojtek and the Generals. Kyle Deck works it off the boards. Van Drunen keeps it in, and Kyle Deck has some company trying to clear it away. Flint Generals lead by the score of 1-0. Cassidy Preston schmucked there by defenseman Nick Tuzzolino, and the Flint Generals will get it ahead. Jordan Fox. Now here's a chance for Joseph Wojtek. Wojtek in with a shot. That one off of Philip Plant and on the side boards. Cassidy Preston working that one up the ice, and now here comes Philip Plant away to center. In over the line. Plant with a drive right on. And a great save by goaltender Chad Alman, and no further play. And now two of the top defensemen this league has to offer. The rookie Nick Tuzzolino and the wily veteran Philip Plant push and shove away from the play. And let's see if we get any penalties involved there. You talk a little bit about those two gentlemen. Philip Plant, second in the IHL in scoring with 48 points. Nick Tuzzolino, third in the IHL in scoring with 42 points. Tuzzolino's done all his work via assists, 33 to be exact. And those are pretty amazing numbers for the Flint Generals and Nick Tuzzolino, the rookie. Philip Plant with 41 assists and 7 goals for the Muskegon Fury. Tuzzolino has 22 of his 33 assists being on the power play. Those are some pretty good numbers. Tuzzolino and Plant will each get assists. We'll get a face-off at exactly the 4-minute mark to the right of Chad Alman. The Kalamazoo, Michigan native, now living down in Taylor, Michigan, has done a great job. Rob Quint with a shot that was blocked. And the Flint Generals working away. This is Justin DePrentice in over the line. DePrentice to Beausoleil, had a stick lifted in the last minute by Billy Collins. Now Michel Beausoleil, when he works and moves his feet, he's pretty hard to stop because he's pretty crafty out there and he can do it. Now, Muskegon Fury behind their own goal. That is Rob Quinn out of the Windsor Spitfire organization and the Ontario Hockey League. Trying to move it up to the line. Sends it to Dave Van Drunen. Van Drunen's pass all the way down the ice. Chad Albin off the boards. Flint Generals lose that control now. Back in behind the goal, 4-on-4 hockey. Good job by John DePace. And now Greg Bullock off the boards and now gives it right to Justin DePrentice, skating in after it, trying to get around Rob Quitt, and Quitt knocks it away to center. Now the Generals go puck chasing, and they'll go way back in their own end to get it. 67 seconds remaining in 4-on-4 hockey, 3 seconds shy of the 5-minute mark in the second period. Greg Bullock outside now. Here comes Joseph Wojtek. Good wide side pass, scores! What a great feed from Joseph Wojtek, spotting John DePace out of the corner of his eye. And John DePace made no mistake. Slam, bam, jam. It goes in the back of the can or in the back of the net if you want to play in English. And it's now 2-0. 5:05 the time of the goal for John DePace. All set up by the great work by Joseph Wojtek and Greg Bullock. Wow, did the Flint Generals do an unbelievable job there. Bullock got it over. And John DePace wasted little time with his 22nd of the year, and it's now 2-0 Flint Generals. So the Generals with a 2-0 lead in this hockey game, and that will delight the crowd here at Perani Arena. Generals want more. This is John DePace making amends for last night. Trying to roll it in front. Bothered there. John DePace at the line. Here's Cerrone with a shot right through the wickets of Clayton Poole and wide. Flint Generals cycling, looking for more. Jason Cerrone, John DePace. This is Foytek. Back to Cerrone, 4-on-4 hockey. Wilson out in front. The one pass didn't work. And Dan Rydell the other way. He's got Russ Moyer with him. A couple of dandy blue chippers. His pass knocked down by Brock Wilson, who did a great job getting it away. Brock Wilson, give it to Joseph Foytek and go. He's got Jordan Fox with him in the shot taken. And Clayton Poole denied him there. Flint Generals looking super in this one at the 6-minute mark of the second period. It's 5-on-5 hockey. Here comes Philip Plant out in front. Puck cleared away, and the Generals were able to steal that one. And a penalty coming up here against Muskegon as Yaroslav Chesky was tied up. Generals now, Muskegon touches it and play is called. The Generals with their second power play when we come back. The score, Muskegon Fury trail the Flint Generals 2-0. Live from Perani Arena and Event Center, you're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNT.
The Crossbow Inn in Grand Blanc has featured some of the best food you've ever tasted for over 25 years. From their soup and sandwich specials for lunch to their delectable dinners like steak and seafood, the Crossbow is always a dining treat. They've got a friendly waitstaff, delicious food, and they are an area tradition. Wall and his staff will always treat you like royalty at the Crossbow Inn, located on South Saginaw in Grand Blanc.
Flint Generals with their second power play of the game. They lead by the score of 2-0. They'd love to get one now. Start creating that separation between themselves and the Muskegon Fury. That Kalamazoo-Bloomington game about to start at U.S. Cellular Coliseum. We hope to have as many updates as we can between now and before we go off the air at the end of the day. Philip Plant out to center to Dave Van Drunen. Van Drunen trying to work it up to the line, and now he'll dump it in. Philip Plant sends that one down the ice. Flint Generals with Greg Bullock, 24 on this power play. 3 Martin Andre, 2 Justin DePrentice, 26 Jordan Fox. And also out there is Brock Wilson, number 7. DePrentice, that's Bullock dumping it in deep. Jordan Fox on the retake at the line. Martin Andre over to Brock Wilson. Wilson in the corner for Greg Bullock. Bullock at the line now for Brock Wilson. Over to Greg Bullock. Bullock will wait. Brock Wilson at the line. Gets that one stolen by Philip Plant, who wheels and deals. And dumps and clears all the way down the ice. Flint Generals with a 2-0 lead. Jordan Fox sending it ahead to Michel Beausoleil entering the zone. Far side pass looking for Jason Cerrone. Hardwick off the wall and dumps it down the ice. Generals penalty killing unit completely changed. Joseph Foytek is number 10. 74, Nick Tuzzolino. Number 9 is Michel Beausoleil. 55, Jason Cerrone. And 26, Jordan Fox. This is Beausoleil. In over the line. Beausoleil on the far side for Jordan Fox. Puck inside. Muskegon in. Jordan Fox now. Nick Tuzzolino at the top of the point. Over now to Jordan Fox. Fox will wait. Fox hangs on to it. Gives it now to Joseph Foytek. Now to Nick Tuzzolino. Back to Joseph Foytek. Foytek will wait. Foytek back in the corner. Jason Cerrone. Cerrone will wait. Flint Generals looking to set up. Jordan Fox now for the Flint Generals looking to come out in front. He cannot. Jason Cerrone trying to find the package. Joseph Foytek now. Flint Generals kicked ahead. Nice job by Beausoleil. Flint Generals now couldn't score on the power play. Muskegon at full and even strength. Jordan Fox trying to feed it in front. Kind of forced it through. Now Jason Cerrone. Bothered there by Jay Hartwig. Jordan Fox, Dave Van Drunen. Michel Beausoleil right in front. That one off of Jordan Fox. And to Clayton Poole, and he hangs on. Flint Generals nearly coming close there to taking a 3-goal lead with 8 minutes and 29 seconds gone by in the opening period. Tell you, the Generals have done everything they can to be successful in this hockey game, and they've really, I think, have played some good hockey today. Back to the live action. Now it comes all the way out to center, and it's cleared by Billy Collins all the way down the ice. The only pro league playing right now is the International Hockey League. ECHL concluded their season last night. Justin DePrentice for the Flint Generals. A long pass. Couldn't get it through to Peter Ferraro. Greg Bullock knocking down his man, Cassidy Preston. And now that is Chad Albin. Nicely done to get it to Peter Ferraro. Here comes Justin DePrentice in shooting, and he fired it away wide. Brock Wilson keeps it in. Ferraro out in front. Puck wouldn't sit for him, and it's grabbed by Clayton Poole, and no further play. More pushing in, shoving at the side of the goal. Greg Bullock, Philip Plant, Peter Ferraro, Justin DePrentice, Jeff Nelson and company for Muskegon. And we'll see if there's any penalties out of this one. At this time, we want to pass along our special hello to all hospital patients, senior citizens, and shut-ins, those who cannot get out to hockey games, but enjoy listening to them on the radio, watching them on television, or following them on the internet. Wherever you're tuning in mid-Michigan, on the official flagship station of your Flint Generals, unforgettable 1470 WFNT, the World Wide Web, www.flintgenerals.com, and viewing today's game on the B2 networks. We hope you're having a wonderful day, staying well, and enjoying this broadcast today. Special hello to Julie, recovering from surgery and from a fall in hospital. Julie, we hope you get well soon, from the Flint Generals family. Show some Foytek now. Hanging on to it. Foytek just dipsy-doodling, but too much dips and too much doodling, and couldn't go anywhere with it. Now the Generals, John DePace jams it in. Jason Cerrone around Van Drunen. Puck is dumped and cleared down the ice. That was a good battle on a couple of bets there. 19 seconds shy of the midway mark of this, the second period. Flint Generals with a 2-0 lead. John DePace now. Here comes Michel Beausoleil. DePace with a drive. He wired it wide. Pardon me, that was Greg Bullock who got into a great shot there. Michel Beausoleil trying to work it in front. You can tell Greg Bullock's hand must be doing really well because he really wired that one. Puck comes all the way out to center. Mark Canart. Canart knocked down. Michel Beausoleil going off. And the Flint Generals will be penalty killing when we come back. It's 2-0 Gens lead. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network live from Perani Arena and Event Center on unforgettable 1470 WFNT.
The Rain Check Lounge is your Flint hockey headquarters. Family owned and operated for 41 years and proud to be a corporate partner of your Flint Generals. You've tried the rest, now try the best at the Rain Check Lounge. They have homemade food and scratch cooking like the award-winning ribs. Out late and hungry? The Rain Check has a full kitchen open until 1 a.m. Monday through Saturday and on Sunday from noon to midnight. They also cater birthday parties, showers, receptions, and much more. The Rain Check Lounge, located at 310 South Averill Street and proud location of the Flint Generals radio show, heard each and every Monday night from 6 to 7. The Rain Check Lounge. Call them 767-3154.
Flint Generals on the penalty kill. Mike Alexiou chipping that one out to center. Michel Beausoleil off for tripping, and the Flint Generals trying to protect the 2-0 lead. Penalty killing been very good today. That's nicely cleared by Nick Tuzzolino all the way down the ice. Nick Tuzzolino, his brother Tony played here for the Flint Generals several years ago, and now Nick getting a chance to skate with his hockey club. I tell you, they grow good stock in the Tuzzolino family. A couple of very good players. Nick has been outstanding this season. Flint Generals can't clear. Puck intercepted now. Here's a chance and a shot from Martinowski, and grabbed by Chad Albin, and no further play. Chad Albin is second start, his third game as returning to the Flint Generals lineup. Played Friday night, was splendid in the 3-2 victory over the Kalamazoo Wings. Last day came on in relief and let in a couple of goals in that wild opening period. And then Eric Marvin finished off the rest of the game. Chad Albin, his second start, and he is 0-1 against the Muskegon Fury this season. Flint Generals control the face-off, and this is Jason Cerrone. Out of his zone, that pass too far for Peter Ferraro, and it goes all the way down the ice from Pleasantville, New York. I wonder how pleasant it is there. Now, Russ Moyer sends it ahead to Philip Plant. Dumps that one all the way down the ice. Chad Albin with control. Does what he does best, and a twisted wrister all the way down the ice. Clayton Poole now will work it up the ice. The goaltenders play a little pass, and the puck is dumped all the way out to center. Flint Generals, and that is Nick Tuzzolino. That hit a man. Mark Cadot right in the back, and play is called on the outside. And boy, that's called tag. You're it. And Mark Cadot just got whacked on the back right there. Time now for the American upcoming schedule, brought to you by American. Officials host hotel of your Flint Generals, located on Highway 23 and Hill Road in Flint. Call 233-9000. Tomorrow night, Flint Generals radio show will originate here from Perani Arena Event Center in support of the 5th annual MDA Spaghetti on Ice. Come on out and hear the show from 6 to 7 p.m. and participate in the Spaghetti on Ice. Going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are $10 and should be a lot of fun. Flint Generals radio show, the whole gang of us bringing you that special tomorrow night. Muskegon power play trying to get back into this hockey game. Here's a shot, not hit a man. Chris Millette, and it comes all the way out to center. Nice block there by Mr. Millette, who's skating kind of gingerly after taking that shot. Rob Quitt sends it in. And now Mr. Albin going to work, clearing that one off the boards, and the Generals dump it away. Peter Ferraro, Michel Beausoleil trying to get around his man. Now Jordan Fox in with a pass, and he couldn't get it to Ferraro in time. Jared Dumba shot that one off of Ferraro and wide too. Michel Beausoleil, great job back in the corner. Good job by Ferraro, trying to get around his man, throwing that one in front. And now Cerrone looking for the loose spoils, and now Rob Quitt to Mark Cadet. Flint Generals 2, Muskegon Fury nothing. 7:23 remaining in the second. Dave Van Drunen, drop back pass over the line. There's a chance in front. Great save by goaltender Chad Albin, who got it right on the goal line and held on. Rafael Martinowski, some touch passing to Van Drunen, and Chad Albin was right there with a great stop, and he held on. Let's step aside for a 1-minute timeout. The Generals lead by 2. You're listening to a special Sunday edition of the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNT.
Who has the area's favorite pizza since 1967? Known far and wide for the best pizza in town.
Also has delicious Italian food.
Excellent seafood, and their huge selection of seafood dishes. Now get live entertainment every Saturday night with a happy hour from 2 till 4 p.m. and 9 till close. Latina is the place. Great food is the taste. Latina, located on Bristol Road, just east of Vance Lake in Flint.
Jiffy Print is your one-stop for all your printing needs. Whether it's commercial printing or promotional products, Jiffy Print can do it all. Let us quote you your next printing job. We're locally owned and operated and pleased to be the official game day insert printer and corporate partner of your Flint Generals. We're located at 3855 Davison Road at Center Road. Call us at 744-2950. You can also email us at jiffyprints@sbcglobal.net. Jiffy Print, we'll shoot your next printing job.
Face off to the left to Chad Albin, who's been splendid in net for the Flint Generals here again this afternoon. Flint Generals with a 2-0 lead. Muskegon with puck in control. Inside, Generals in. Puck worked in front. Now the Generals will take over. Jared Dumba outside now to John DePace. Good pass. That one off of John Foytek, and now Justin Rohr. Puck was a little too ahead of him. Here's a sharp angled shot, cleared right in front. Cleared away by goaltender Chad Albin. Flint Generals worked that one away, and now Jason Cerrone. Joseph Foytek to the front of the net. Oh, and he tips it wide. What a great touch pass. Cerrone to Foytek, and he tips it wide of the net. Foytek's been skating well lately, and he set up a goal earlier and looked like he was ready to put one in there. Through center ice, Justin Rohr. There's the tall and the short of it is Justin Rohr, the smallish forward, right into the tall, lanky defenseman Nick Tezzolino. Puck rolled out, but he hangs on and no further play. Of importance to Flint Generals fans is a game going on in Bloomington, where it's underway now, and Kalamazoo and Bloomington tied 1-1. John Nail with a goal for Bloomington at 4:09, but Justin Cross is scoring for Kalamazoo. A minute 30 seconds later, and it's a 1-1 tie at U.S. Cellular Coliseum. So that game underway, and you wonder how many bullets the Bloomington Prairie Thunder had left from last night's win. Hoped a few more. Bloomington at the line, the one-timer just tipped away wide. Chad Albin looks very calm and cool in net. The veteran just doesn't make too many mistakes, and he's such more of a general in control when he's on the ice. Getting knocked down was Joseph Foytek. Fans wanting a penalty. Referee said no. Jordan Fox at the line, now gets around the defenseman. The Generals now will clear it away. Now Jordan Fox clearing it down the ice. Russ Moyer for Muskegon. Moyer being watched there. Puck worked ahead, and that will go up and into the crowd and out of play. With 5 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the second period, the shots are 19-18. Continuing with that American upcoming schedule, Wednesday night will be live from Wing Stadium in Kalamazoo, Michigan, when the Flint Generals take on the Kalamazoo Wings, and could be decision night for the Flint Generals and an opportunity maybe to punch their ticket for the playoffs. Pre-game show coverage, 6:40 p.m. We'll drop the puck at 7 bells. Right across the Flint Generals Hockey Network. Back to the live action, Michel Beausoleil. Beausoleil twists and turns. Beausoleil waits, shoots that one over top of the net and wide. Millette can't keep it in. Puck comes all the way out to center. Greg Bullock, Michel Beausoleil, Justin DePrentice out there. Play is called on the outside. Of course, next Saturday night, the last regular season home game for the Flint Generals. When they entertain Al Sims' Fort Wayne Comets, Generals will auction off the UAW warm-up jerseys immediately after the game. That is going to be a lot of fun. Do hope you'll be able to join us for that. 100% of those proceeds will benefit the UAW charities, the Arthritis Foundation. That is next Saturday night. The Flint Generals auctioning off those UAW wonderful warm-up jerseys. Puck cleared down the ice. Flint Generals with a 2-0 lead thanks to goals by Michel Beausoleil and John DePace. Russ Moyer off the board. Rafael Martinowski kept in at the line by Chris Millette. You're not going to push him over too often out there with Martinowski. Flint Generals now pick it up. Greg Bullock along the far side. Shoots that one on goal, and Clayton Poole stopped that. Left a big juicy rebound controlled by Dave Herring. Gets it up to the line to Mark Cadot. Cadot to center and over the line, trying to get around his man. Nice job defensively there by Martin Andre to poke the puck away at the last second. Puck turned in. Chris Millette lost his stick. Now, Mark Cadot as a Moyer kind of almost pulled it out from under him. Now Russ Moyer twisting and turning. Muskegon. And they can't control it and go all the way down the ice. Back to get it, Mark Cadot, but Jason Cerrone trying to steal the thunder. Cerrone, Cadot lost his stick. One-timer right through the wickets of Joseph Pointek. Pointek was on his wrong hand down the ice. David Segal the other way. Good pass, but no one home but the man in the moon, and now the Generals the other way. Look out, here comes Pointek. Far side pass now to John DePace with control. DePace in, shooting it, save Clayton Poole. Another chance batted down wide. David Segal is tied up there by John DePace. That is Dave Van Drunen. Van Drunen hit there by Jordan Fox. And now Rafael Martinowski avoiding a check, gave it away. Here's a check, and Joseph Pointek hanging on to it. Gives it outside to Fox. Here's the pace to Fox. Too cute. Too much Grey Poupon on the hot dog there. And the Generals misfire and send it wide. The other way, Dave Segal. Dan Rydell. And he missed the net by a country mile. Rydell again with a drive, and he put it upstairs where no man's land. And play is continuing up the ice to center ice. Now back inside, Muskegon in. Jay Hartwick ahead to Justin Rohr. Rohr sends that one down off of Jared Dumba, batted down to center. There's little Justin Rohr, not much of him. Twists and turns near center. Gets it to Dan Rydell. Rydell with a great shot, nicely blocked there by Jared Dumba, and the Generals dump it away to center. Greg Bullock to Yaroslav Chesky, who steals that one, dumps it in. Jay Hartwick, Greg Bullock on the touch. Generals trying to pick it up, they can't. Now, Dan Rydell dumps it back in. 3:10 remaining. And this is the second period. Flint Generals with a 2-0 lead. Sheldon Wing gets whacked, but he gets it up the ice. Puck cleared down the ice. Nick Tuzzolino skating hard to touch. Icing is called. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout. Gens with a 2-0 lead. You're listening to this hockey broadcast on Unforgettable 1470 WFNT.
Car insurance isn't about the car. It's about the precious cargo the car carries. It's about providing security and confidence that if an accident occurs, that you will be protected. As a local independent agent, we can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family, providing safe, sound, secure insurance protection from Auto Owners Insurance.
The Brad Hoffman Insurance Agency, located in downtown Fenton. Call them toll-free 1-877-629-4991.
Welcome back inside Perani Arena and Event Center. I'm Dennis J. Puska. 2 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the second period, and the Generals lead 2-0. Michel Beausoleil with a rocket, stirred away by Clayton Poole. Russ Moyer got a cup of coffee this year up at the American Hockey League, and then proceededly got injured, and happy to see him get a chance. Chad Albin throwing that one up the gut, but now Philip Plant intercepts for Muskegon. Moyer out of Cassidy Preston lost that one. The Flint Generals the other way. Greg Bullock in, shooting it, picked away by Clayton Poole. Russ Moyer throws it in behind the goal, and now Philip Plant. Plant being watched there by Jason Cerrone. Generals will try to keep it in. John DePace there. Foytek can't get control, and the puck comes all the way out as Preston Cassidy knocked down Martin Andre. Now here's a chance for Muskegon. Nelson with a shot cleared away by Chad Albin. Billy Collins looking for a man in front. Nice job there by Martin Andre. Parked to the side of the goal. Chad Albin steered that one away. Muskegon cycling. Here's a chance and a shot. That just went wide. Jeff Nelson on the near side. That one's stolen, and Chris Millette gives it to Jason Cerrone. Cerrone gives it to Joseph Wojtek on a breakaway. In! Scores! Joseph Wojtek! Oh my, he's fun to watch. From several players, I've heard the simple words, just give him the puck and let him go. A highlight reel goal. He's had a lot of them this season. The fans to my left stand in appreciation, and the Generals lead 3-0. Joseph Wojtek, this kid has got a bright future in hockey. And this kid can flat out fly. And since his return to the American and to the International Hockey League, from his stint with the Grand Rapids Griffins of the American Hockey League, I'll tell you, he's gotten much better, playing with a lot more confidence. And Joseph Wojtek is fun to watch. He's a good one. So the Flint Generals with a 4-0 lead, with a 3-0 lead, almost made it 4, as Clayton Poole almost gave up the package. Jordan Fox out in front, and Mike Alexiou can't get a shot away. So the Generals lead 3-0, just what the doctor ordered in the final 70 seconds of the second stanza. Puck worked all the way out to center. Rob Clint sends that one ahead, and now Mark Cadot. Cadot from Dan Herring. Herring moving in. Outside Martinowski with a shot, and he fired it away wide. We're in the final minute of the second stanza. Generals lead by the score of 3-0, thanks to Joseph Wojtek's goal for the Gens. And now Jordan Fox's little touch pass all the way out to center. Van Drunen clearing it back, and the Generals back in their own end. This is Flint Generals hockey, the way they've known to play all season long. Big goals, big plays, making things look relatively simple. Now, that is Jared Dumba. Michel Beausoleil now tipped in there by Yaroslav Chesky. Sure, his dad listening or watching our broadcast in the Czech Republic tonight, which has got to be about, 8, 9 o'clock their time out there. I'm sure he enjoys these Sunday games, and I'm sure the day games as well. Puck almost stolen by Greg Bullock in the final 9 seconds. Dave Van Drunen in, trying to get a shot away. Dribbles it wide. 4 seconds remaining in the period. Puck putting on out. Here's Herring with a shot, blocked away by Chad Albin, and that'll do it. The second period comes to an end. The Flint Generals are simply marvelous in the second stanza, scoring 3 times. Michel Beausoleil, John DePace, and then Joseph Wojtek with a goal of his own. The Flint Generals lead the Muskegon Fury by the score of 3-0. Third period upcoming as the Generals trying to get back on the winning track and get win number 32 here today. Our score, the Flint Generals 3, the Muskegon Fury no score. Yeah, that's right, Muskegon no score. When we come back, Generals live at the intermission, presented by GM Goodrich and your local GM dealers. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNT.
Being that it's our first date, I brought you to my favorite place.
From opening night to the hoisting of the Turner Cup, nothing will get you better prepared for all the tough, action-packed physical hockey than IHL-hockey.com. Log on for up-to-the-minute news, schedules, player stats, and the latest scores of all your favorite IHL teams through the Point Streak iTicker. A new era of intense, rivalry-enriched professional minor league hockey has begun. If you can't be at the arena for all the family affordable entertainment, or if you're thirsty for more, don't get left in the cold. Log on to IHL-hockey.com.
Home or away, the Flint Generals Hockey Network had you covered every step of the way during the 2007-2008 season. Hi, I'm Dennis J. Puska. It's the final weekend of the regular season, and you won't want to miss these upcoming Flint Generals broadcasts. On Wednesday night, the Generals visit the Kalamazoo Wings at Wing Stadium at 7 p.m. Pre-game show coverage begins at 6:40 p.m., followed by the puck drop right after that. Then on Friday and Saturday, as the final 2 home games at Perani Arena Event Center, the Generals entertain the first-place Fort Wayne Comets at 7:30 p.m. The Generals pre-game report, protected by T-Town Security, begins both nights at 7:10 p.m. Then on Sunday afternoon, it's the final game of the regular season as the Generals close out with a trip back to Allen County War Memorial Coliseum to take on the Comets at 5 p.m. Pre-game show coverage on that day begins at 4:40 p.m. The Flint Generals Hockey Network has you live coverage on Unforgettable 1470 WFNT and the World Wide Web at www.flintgenerals.com.
Flint Generals hockey, rebuilding the tradition.
Who has the area's favorite pizza since 1967? For the best pizza in town.
Also has delicious Italian food,
excellent seafood, and their huge selection of seafood dishes. Now get live entertainment every Saturday night with a happy hour from 2 till 4 p.m. and 9 till close. Latina is the place. Great food is the taste. Latina, located on Bristol Road, just east of Vance Lake in Flint.
So the other day I got to thinking about my Buick, why I liked it, why I bought it. And I gotta admit, it's all about looks. That's right. The looks it gets, and the looks I get driving it. I mean, I'll drive by a mirrored building just to check us out. And when it comes to keeping it that way, to help keep me feeling about it like I did the day I brought it home, I take it to my Buick dealer, cruise into the good wrench service lane, and ask for a multi-point inspection.
I can't stop thinking about it.
They'll do 27 different checks in all, from checking tires, fluids, and mechanical stuff to help keep my Buick running as good as it looks. To checking the windshield for cracks so my Buick will always look as good as it runs. The thing is, if it needs a little work, I'm cool with that. Sometimes it takes a little work to stay good looking. Good wrench. It's the perfect wrench for your Buick. Only at your Buick dealer.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Welcome back inside Perani Arena and Event Center. Third period underway. We've played just over a minute. And the Generals with a 3-0 lead. Nick Tuzzolino went over the line, coming out in front with a chance, and that goes right to the crease and wide. Flint Generals owning this lead, and now Michel Beausoleil on the steal with a shot right on. The save and batted down by Michel Beausoleil. Knocked down by a high stick, and we'll get a stoppage in play. Well, you bet the Bloomington Berry Thunder still have some ammunition available. It's now a 3-3 tie with the Kalamazoo Wings through 20 minutes of hockey. Aldoff, Nail, and Clark for Bloomington. Cross, Drake, and Bootland for Kalamazoo. And a game that means so much to Kalamazoo and so much to the Flint Generals. Bloomington putting up a terrific fight today. Greg Bullock, Cambridge, Ontario native. Lost control of that one, but now retaken by Michel Beausoleil. Nice cross pass over now to Bullock. Greg Bullock turns around. Bullock trying to throw that one to the front of the net. DePrentice's shot, that was blocked. He was knocked down. And now, Muskegon. Good check in along the boards as Bullock checked his man. And now Bill Collins in over the line. Collins trying to get around his man. Collins still trying to get through there, but denied by Kyle Deck and by Chad Albin. Chad Albin's played very well in this one today. Now Greg Bullock trying to work it free. Good battle in along the boards. Now getting knocked down to the ice there was Cassidy Preston. And the Flint Generals working up ice. Kyle Deck's pass too far for Beausoleil. And it comes through to center now the other way. Jeff Nelson. Nelson puts on the brakes, decides not to shoot it. Lost control of that pass, and the Generals now go back in their own end. Jason Cerrone, and now what do we got going on here? Some pushing and shoving between Jeff Nelson and John DePace, and we'll see what penalties are going to result here. Jeff Nelson, in his first game back on Wednesday night, did not appear to like a lot of the rough stuff, and you could tell that coming back to play was a little, had a few malfunctions in his junction, and every time the Generals tried to promptly put him on his keister or knock him down, he didn't appreciate that too much, get up very slowly. I'm sure the old saying goes that, well, you know what? You welcome back to hockey, I guess, and it takes your body to get used to getting back into it again. Flint Generals with a 3-0 lead. 4-on-4 hockey as the pace and Mr. Nelson will go off. Generals trying to close out this weekend on a positive note. Here comes Dan Rydell. In with a shot and a blocker save by Chad Albin. Chad Albin looks like he's picked up where he left off before he got hurt. The consummate professional. Puck's in front. That goes off the post, and Van Drunen denied by the goal post there. Ding dong. The puck stayed out. Now, here comes Peter Ferraro trying to get in, but denied. And little Justin Rohr takes over. Far side pass to Dan Rydell in. Rydell to Rohr, but tied up there by Joseph Wojtek. Justin Rohr smushed in along the boards like a big fly by Joseph Wojtek. Rohr knocked away by Brock Wilson. Penalty coming up here against the Flint Generals as Jordan Fox knocked down Russ Moyer. And the Flint Generals will be down a man. It'll be 4-on-3 hockey. 4 minutes and 12 seconds. So the Flint Generals having their way in this hockey game. And Chad Albin, as I said, I don't think he's really picked up where he left off prior to getting hurt. He's an excellent athlete. He's excellent shape. And seeing his game on Friday night, watching his game today, the man is back. There's no doubt in my mind about that. The veteran has been very sharp tonight, as good as he was on Friday night. I'm anxious to see Chad Albin when he really gets the fire and brimstone going, and hopefully next weekend getting a shot at those Fort Wayne Comets. I think that just might be the tonic that the Generals might need. Billy Collins in over the line, far side pass to Mark Cadot, even though he has got a record of 0-1 against them. Now Mike Alexiou in over the line. Alexiou shooting that one right on, and Clayton Poole stopped that. He's actually 0-1. The loss was a shootout loss to Fort Wayne back on Thanksgiving weekend. Billy Collins through the middle of Mark Cadot, had it stolen away there by Nick Tonzolino. Good check in along the boards. Dan Rydell is there. Puck centered in front. And Mike Alexiou takes it down the ice. The Pickering, Ontario native Mike Alexiou, who went to Merrimack College. Now at the ice is Philip Plot, the French-Canadian. Away to center and over the line. Working in. Looking for a man. Shoots that one around on the boards. Gives it to Mark Cadot. Cadot checked there nicely by Martin Andre. Very good body checker he is. Cadot and Martin Andre there. And now Greg Bullock can't get it out. Dan Rydell keeps it in. Mark Cadot hanging on to it. Cadot at the line. Far side pass. Here comes Van Drunen. Van Drunen turns around. Van Drunen back to Cadot. Back at the line for Rydell. Nifty play defensively there by Greg Bullock, who swatted at that one and schmucked it down the ice. 4.5 minutes in to the third period. Now, Muskegon with a 5-on-4 power play. Jeff Nelson bodied by Martin Andre. And Jeff Nelson getting bodied again. Nelson gives the puck to Martinowski. Van Drunen. Philip Plot, top of the point, shooting that one out, deflected off of Nelson and wide. Millette chops away at it. The Generals clear, but not out. Dave Van Drunen keeps it in. Back in the corner. Generals puck comes out in front. And Mike Alexiou sends it away, and out comes Peter Ferraro. Puts an open ice ahead of him. Alexiou coming back as well. Ferraro puts on the break, shoots that one. That hit a man, and that went into the corner. Good job by Peter Ferraro, taking some time off the penalty that has 6 seconds to go in it. Muskegon trailing 3-0. We're 47 seconds shy of the 6-minute mark. Now moving in, Russ Moyer. That was hit by Jason Cerrone, and the Generals try to exit the zone. They can't. Puck goes back in the corner. Nick Tonzolino. Michel Beausoleil. Tonzolino. Russ Moyer there. And now the Flint Generals take over. Greg Bullock, who's played a talented game today, trying to work it out. Now Jordan Fox back in his own end. Fox exits pass ahead now to Nick Tonzolino. Now to Michel Beausoleil. Has to come all the way back to get it. Now here's a chance for Dave Segal, who couldn't get to it. Takes a funny bounce, and Brock Wilson nearly had a cough up there. Puck's intermediate foot. Great save by Chad Albin, who has robbed the rookie Dan Rydell. The best stop of the game. No further play. A sensational stop on goaltender Chad Albin. And the Generals remain ahead by 3. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable, 1470 WFNT.
WFNT Flint. Unforgettable, AM 1470.
I know the importance of insurance to protect obligations, like my new car loan. But is there a life insurance program that I can fit into my budget?
No problem with Auto Owners 10-year or 20-year level term insurance.
How will I know it's right for me?
Auto Owners 10 or 20-year level term provides low-cost protection and can be converted to permanent insurance later.
10 or 20-year level term insurance from Auto Owners.
The Brad Hoffman Insurance Agency, located in downtown Fenton. Call them toll-free 1-877-629-4991.
The Muskegon Fury have finally broken through on Chad Albin while we were away. Mad scramble in front. Chad Albin was on his stomach, could not get back up. Kind of dangerously out of position. Generals took a swat at it, could not find it. And the Muskegon Fury have scored. I believe it's going to be given to Jeff Nelson. 6 minutes, 5 seconds, the time of the goal. And Muskegon has finally broken through. It's 3-1 in the third period. Puck cleared away. Big check in along the boards. And I believe Nelson gets an assist on the goal. And it's now 3-1. Here's a shot from Yaroslav Chesky. And he makes the save as Clayton Poole hangs on. So it's now 3-1. Muskegon has scored. And they gave it to Billy Collins, who gets his 17th road goal this season. Cadott and Nelson getting assists on the goal, and that goal coming at 6:05. So it's now a 3-1 game. 6:27 into the third period. Dave Van Drunen for the Muskegon Fury, lose control of that one. Knocked down on the play as John DePace. Puck is fished ahead, and now Muskegon. Here comes Billy Collins, who's had a solid game today. Good job defensively there by Jared Dumba. Brock Wilson trying to clear. Dave Herring, but a nice addition to the lineup, the former Texas Wildcatter at the line. Here's Quick with a shot. Quick took that one, and Chad Albin turned that one aside. Joseph Foytek for the Flint Generals. Brock Wilson, give it to Joseph Foytek, but the pass was too far ahead, and now Muskegon the other way. But the Generals now work it ahead, and look out, Foytek. Outside now to Greg Bullock, avoiding a check, dumping it in. Flint Generals with a 3-1 lead out shooting. The Muskegon Fury 27-24. Dave Van Drunen off the boards. And now Herring had it stolen by Martin Andre. Good job by the Generals, and now the other side. In over the line, Martinowski. Job defensively there by Chris Millette. Greg Bullock pass too far for Justin Apprentice, and it comes all the way out to center. Jeff Nelson. Dave Herring at the line. Puck backhanded in. Chris Millette watching his man. Generals can't find the loose spoils. Herring will keep it in. Herring had it stolen and left it, and now Michel Beausoleil bursts the speed, gets in over the line. Nice move around his man. Oh, and a great save by Clayton Poole. Philip Plante was left in his undies as he was out-deked. Philip Plante looked like one of those orange cones during construction season on a road. That's right, a pylon. As play is called on the offside. And Philip Plante looked like an old guard, just kind of been moving and grooving. Michel Beausoleil made that one look cute, but he couldn't bang it in the net. And the Flint Generals nearly made it 4-1 there. Tell you, there's nothing Michel Beausoleil can't do. Man who can play at all levels and all facets of the game. Whether it's defensively, offensively, he's got a great shot. He can kill some penalties for you. He can get some big goals. He's a good man, Michel Beausoleil, and that's why he leads the Generals in all offensive categories. Foytek's pass, that's Fox's pass, too far for Alexiou, and it goes all the way down the ice. Russ Moyer twisting and turning. Lost control of that one. Mike Alexiou with a drive in the far side wide. Nick Tonsolino with a shot. That hit a man. I think it hit Yaroslav Chensky in front. Muskegon off the glass, and that comes all the way out and down the ice. Nick Tonsolino back to get it. Works that one ahead in the Flint Generals. John DePace too far at the line. And now Muskegon circles back. Justin Rohr dumps it back in. Brock Wilson back to get it. That's off the boards. Generals can't control. Muskegon dumps it back in the corner. There's that little Justin Rohr. Kyle Deck loses it now. Puck center 80 in front. And it's knocked away, and John DePace is off to the races. And it's got Foytek with him. John DePace backhanding it through. But Collins intercepts now for Muskegon, and now Muskegon the other side. Jeff Nelson with Rohr with him. Nelson trying to sneak through, but Brock Wilson sashayed that puck away. And now Joseph Foytek trying to get himself out of trouble. Nice job working it ahead to Jared Dumba. His pass to John DePace. DePace sending that one down the ice. 29-second shot of the midway mark of the third period. The Flint Generals 3 and the Muskegon Fury 1. There's a shot on goal. Chad Albin turned that one away. Puck line there, and it's cleared away wide. Now the Flint Generals can't get it out. Van Drunen dumps it in the corner. Billy Collins. Collins trying to fish it in front. Can't get a shot away. Generals battle for it. Jared Dumba sporting a unique goatee-style look today, or beard look today. Now the puck cleared off the boards. The Generals tattoo it down the ice. We're past the midway mark of the third period. Muskegon 3, the Flint Generals 1. Jeff Nelson sandwiched there by Martin Andre. Puck cleared. Keeping it in. Van Drunen takes on bounce. Trying to bat at that one was Billy Collins. And I believe we're going to get a penalty call. Or no, we're just going to get a knockdown by a high stick. And that'll get a stoppage in play. They're calling it a penalty on Billy Collins for high sticking. The Generals go on the power play. When we come back, it's a 3-1 Flint Generals lead. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network This is Unforgettable, 1470 WFNZ.
If you've been looking for a place to work out, you should check out Hurley Health and Fitness Center. Hurley Health and Fitness Center has been helping people just like you to get fit and stay healthy for over 16 years. But Hurley Health and Fitness Center is much more than just a fitness center, offering free services like child care, group exercise classes, and locker and towel service, all of them included with your membership. You won't find a better value anywhere, and right now they're offering a great deal on your joining fee. Hurley Health and Fitness Center is located on South Saginaw Street between Hemphill and Atherton Roads. Stop by or call 235-5234 for membership discount information. Hurley Health and Fitness Center. Real people, real results.
Brock Wilson's shot denied by Clayton Poole. Generals on the power play looking to get that goal back that they surrendered earlier. Puck out in front, Craig Bullock. Here's Brock Wilson on the side for Martin Andre. He fanned on that one, and the Generals can't pick it up, and now Muskegon trying to work it away. Dan Rydell dumps it away to center. Flint Generals on the power play. Billy Collins in the box for high sticking. 8 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in the third period. Craig Bullock's pass too far for Beausoleil. And now Muskegon dumps it ahead. Here's a chance for Mark Cadott. Cadott with a shot denied there by Nick Tuzzolino. Puck centered in front and denied as Nelson had it stolen there by John DePace. Flint Generals behind their own goal, and now the Generals will try to start it up here, which is 46 seconds to go in this power play. Jason Cerrone ahead too far for Michel Beausoleil and Russ Moyer. Nice backhand shot down the ice. Here comes Jeff Nelson awaiting the pass, shooting it just wide. Flint Generals take it the other way, and now here comes Jordan Fox. Cerrone with him and over the line. Fox keeping his feet moving. Jordan Fox now at the line for Nick Tuzzolino. Tuzzolino shot that deflected wide. Joseph Wojtek now to Jason Cerrone. Cerrone battling for it with Van Drunen. Good job by the Generals at the line. Nick Tuzzolino. Tuzzolino, Joseph Wojtek. Beausoleil's shot was blocked by the defense. Flint Generals at the line. Nick Tuzzolino with a shot, scores! Jordan Fox put his stick there, and it bounced in like a Super Bowl. It's 4-1. So the Flint Generals have taken a 4-1 lead at the 12-20 mark on a power play goal by Jordan Fox, and that should seal the deal now. 12:20, the time of the goal, and the Flint Generals have opened up a 4-1 lead. The Generals have got to be happy with that. Tuzzolino put it on goal. It went off. Jordan Fox's stick, who got a stick on that one, and it carried end over end and in behind, and the Generals have taken a 4-1 lead. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable, 1470 WFNZ.
The Rain Check Lounge is your Flint hockey headquarters. Family owned and operated for 41 years and proud to be a corporate partner of your Flint Generals. You've tried the rest, now try the best at the Rain Check Lounge. They have homemade food and scratch cooking like the award-winning ribs. Out late and hungry? The Rain Check has a full kitchen open until 1 a.m. Monday through Saturday and on Sunday from noon to midnight. They also cater birthday parties, showers, receptions, and much more. The Rain Check Lounge, located at 310 South Averill Street and proud location of the Flint Generals radio show for each and every Monday night from 6 to 7. The Rain Check Lounge. Call them, 767-3154.
7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. In the third period, the Flint Generals have opened up a 4-1 lead. They've outshot the Muskegon Fury 30-25. The Generals have 208 shots on goal in their last 4 hockey games, or last 5 hockey games, and those are some pretty impressive numbers. Generals are trying to backhand it away. Brock Wilson to Greg Bullock. Flint Generals now with a 4-1 lead, getting in position to reduce the magic number down to 4. And if the Kalamazoo Wings lose today, or down to 3 at least, if the Kalamazoo Wings lose today, the magic number will be down to 1. Puck cleared away. Generals can't keep it in, and now Muskegon the other way. Little Justin Rohr to center and over the line. Had it stolen there by Michel Beausoleil, and the Generals cleared away. John DePace has probably Brock Wilson. Justin DePrentice sending that one down the ice. 7 minutes remaining in third period. It's 4-1. Generals have been in control since the second period when they scored 3 goals to take a 3-0 lead. Dan Rydell, Muskegon without Robin Bouchard today, missing the game due to injury. Now Jordan Fox from Yaroslav Chesky. In over the line. Fox trying to pass it through to Alexiou, and that went wide. Generals now will clear back in, and now Van Drunen. Robert Clint dumping it around on the boards, and this is Dave Segal. Segal hasn't been asked to mix it up too much lately. Now Justin Rohr. Pass stolen, and now Martin Andre dumps that one away to center. Chesky. John DePace. Lovely pass trying to get around his man. Stolen, and now Billy Collins. The center of the line with a shot that hit. Chris Millett in front. Peter Ferraro. Pass ahead. It comes all the way out. Now Martin Andre trying to get through. He got sandwiched by two Muskegon players. Peter Ferraro peels it back, and John DePace behind his own goal. Flint Generals. That's up the ice and all the way out to center. Under 6 minutes remaining in regulation time in the third period. Generals with a 4-1 lead. Chris Millett off the board. Joseph Wojtek to Peter Ferraro. Pass out to the center ice area. DePace couldn't get to that one. And Muskegon retreats. Russ Moyer. Pass off of Dave Herring into the Generals bench. Will get a stoppage in play. Join us at the conclusion of tonight's game for the Rain Check Lounge Locker Room Show. We'll bring you a recap of what on in this game today. We'll give you an IHL Turner Cup standings report, and also a check of what else is going on the IHL out-of-town scoreboard. All coming up during our Rain Check Lounge Locker Room Show at the conclusion of our broadcast. Kalamazoo and Bloomington tied 3-3. That game now in the second period. Earlier today, the Fort Wayne Comets beat the Port Huron Ice Hawks 3-2. Mark Cadott. Far side pass. Here's Herring with a drive, and I believe Chad Albin got a piece of that one, or it hit Michel Beausoleil in front. Now, at the line, here's a chance and a shot. That one upstairs on Herring, and that missed the net. Philip Plott keeps it in. Now Kyle Deck for the Flint Generals. Deck trying to sashay his way through center, had it stolen, and now the other way comes Mark Cadott. Cadott had it taken away by Greg Bullock, who backhands it all the way down the ice. Greg Bullock's had a solid game at both ends of the ice in this one today. Icing called against the Flint Generals with 4:56 to go. You start thinking about 3 stars in this one. Chad Albin's got to be at the head of the hit parade. You've also got to like Joseph Wojtek with a goal and an assist, and he's been dynamite. Greg Bullock's been dynamite today for the Flint Generals, and so has Michel Beausoleil. So there are a lot of terrific candidates in this one here today, and we'll announce those when our broadcast is done. Face off to the right of Chad Albin. Flint Generals with a 4-1 lead. They led 3-0 after 2 periods of play, and they've made this one look easy today. And this is called redemption. After a tough effort last night. Peter Ferraro getting a lot of shifts today, playing very well. Now Jordan Fox in over the line. Yaroslav Chesky with a rocket, and he fired it wide. Chesky now dumps it back in the corner. Sheldon Wing gets moved out of the way, and Jeff Nelson intercepts for the Muskegon Fury. And now the Generals clear it back. Brock Wilson to Jared Dumba. Nice pass, that one off of Fox, and all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. 4:24 remaining in the third period. Generals keep it in. Jared Dumba with a shot that hit a man in front. Generals looking for it. Ferraro can't get a shot away. Jared Dumba shot through, and Clayton Poole cleared that one into the corner. Jeff Nelson dumps it ahead, and now Preston Cassidy dumps that one all the way down the ice. Brock Wilson had a stick lifted by Billy Collins, and now Preston Cassidy. Cassidy out in front, gave it right to the new player for the Flint Generals, and it's dumped out to center. Joseph Wojtek in over the line. Wojtek moving in. Wojtek shooting, a great save by goaltender Clayton Poole, and he hangs on, and no further play. Trent Davinia, who hasn't played too much in this game, his second and third shift, and did a great job at getting it up the ice. Let's step aside for a 30-second timeout. It is 4-1 in favor of the Flint Generals. You're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable 1470 WFNZ.
Who has the area's favorite pizza since 1967? Known far and wide Tonight for the best pizza in town.
Also has delicious Italian food.
Excellent seafood. And their huge selection of seafood dishes. Now get live entertainment every Saturday night with a happy hour from 2 till 4 p.m. and 9 till close. Latina is the place. Great food is the taste. Latina, located on Bristol Road, just east of Vance Lake in Flint.
3:23 remaining in the third period. The Flint Generals with a 4-1 lead, looking very solid in this one here tonight, closing in on what would be their 32nd victory, reducing the magic number down to 3. Puck cleared down the ice. Kalamazoo and Bloomington tied at 3. That game is in the second period, almost midway through. Muskegon at their own blue line. Philip Plant ahead to Russ Moyer. Moyer dumps it all the way down the ice. In the corner to get it now. Dave Segal got hit there by Chris Millette. Two tough guys right there. Justin Rohr with a shot and a good save by Chad Albin. Kept it at the line. Russ Moyer. That deflected wide. Chris Millette for the Generals. Using the glass well. Gets it up and now Michel Beausoleil. Here comes Greg Bullock. He's got Foytek with him. Beausoleil at the blue line. And to put on the brakes, cutting at the pass in time. And it comes all the way out to center. Now the other way comes Muskegon. There's a shot from Dan Rydell, and his laser beam denied by Chad Albin, who's been the difference maker in this one. Puck kept in. Here's Philip Plant. Dan Rydell at the line. Rydell dumps it back in the corner. Chad Albin directing traffic, working that one off the board. Good job by the Flint Generals. And now Yaroslav Chesky finding some open space, and now that puck goes up, and it comes all the way out to center. Generals 2-on-1. Chesky, Ferraro. Chesky to Ferraro, but he couldn't get a shot away. Here's Ferraro shooting it just wide. Chesky can't get it as poked away by Clayton Poole. 1:53 remaining. Now Peter Ferraro dumping it back in. Flint Generals with a 4-1 lead, playing very well. Jared Dumba. Dumba twisting and turning, hanging on to it at the line. Dumba back in, the puck center radiant front, and now Flint Generals works it off the boards and all the way down the ice. Generals keep it in now. Here's a shot. Good save. The rebound. Generals can't get it there as John DePace fired it wide. Generals now with 1:22 remaining in this one, trying to close this one out. Puck comes all the way back, and Dezelia dumps it down the ice. 4-1 is our score. 1:13 remaining in this one. Flint Generals closing in on this game here today. Playing some fantastic hockey and getting all the things right. Now, Jared Dumba for the Flint Generals. Worked away, and now it comes all the way out to center. Here comes Trent Davila. In over the line. Davila, nobody really to pass it to. He's going to hang on to it. Throws it back in the zone. Last minute of this hockey game. Wow, this game's moved right along in lickety-split type fashion. Here's a chance for Mark Canutt trying to get in. Puck's in a radiant front denied there. Here is Sheldon Wing. At the line, broken up there in the Generals now. Here's a shot that is a skate in front. Jason Cerrone gives it to Martin Andre, and the Flint Generals work it away with 25 seconds to go. The Flint Generals about to reduce their magic number down to 3. And wait for some more to what else is going to happen in the IHL postseason. And the Flint Generals are closing in on what could be another playoff trip for this hockey club. 7 seconds to go. Justin DePrentice up the ice. Greg Bullock can't get it. 2 seconds. 1. Stick a fork in them. They're done. Ring it up. The Flint Generals come back and get a big victory. Chad Albin, super. 28 of 29 stops. Beausoleil, Foytek, and company do the rest. And the Flint Generals win this hockey game by the score of 4-1. The Generals have reduced their magic number to 3. And the club looking very good at closing in on a Turner Cup playoff berth. Final score, Flint Generals 4, the Muskegon Fury 1. When we return, the Rain Check Lounge Locker Room Show. We'll do that when we come back. Live from Perani Arena and Event Center, you're listening to the Flint Generals Hockey Network. This is Unforgettable, 1470 WFNZ.
This famous